Okay, I asked the question how this was done. How do you put that vacuum, it's the wheel horse vacuum, on a C160? And I had some interest from other people that wanted to know also. So I said I'd let them know how I ended up doing it, because the instructions tell you to move this out and put a second guard here that comes with it. But you'd have to move this so far out that this would no longer be on that bar. You'd have to extend that. You gotta move it out like 3 inches, because their picture shows one with an electric clutch, not your standard wheel horse clutch. So I said I'll make up pictures or a video as to how I did it, in case someone else is trying. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it at all, but it did work, I think. I haven't tried it yet. I'm waiting for a belt to show up. I ended up just putting bearings down here. There's 3/4 inch collar shafts. Now it seems like those bearings might be small, but when you compare it to the PTO idler pulley, it's not much smaller, barely. So that should be okay. This idler, I ran right through the bolt. Hopefully you can see that. I just welded that little square tubing, welded it up there. That'll be plenty strong enough. This is all just made out of things that I have sitting around. I think this is gonna need whacked off just a little bit right in here, because the belt's gonna hit it. Right now the deck's hanging, so it runs under. I made that out of I made that idler there out of an old used timing gear pulley or something. That's what I think it was. Just give me a second here. Okay. I know, this is not a professional video. It's gonna come down around there. That belt is gonna go under the axle. Then I'll end up coming over that. Let me set this down so I can show you the things I made here. This belt is going to come over here and go up to this pulley. I'll show you what I did there. Let me get it. Where did I put it? I lost it already. Right there. Be right back with you. This was a piece of 1.5 inch square. I drilled 2 holes in it that'll line up with these 2 holes. Then I slotted it. That will sit right in there, like so. This is going to go inside it. It's 1/4 inch thick. I tapped it to 3/8. There's another idler pulley. And you have to shim it out some. You probably use a smaller, like 1.25 inch tubing, because this isn't using many shims at all. This thread's on there. I made that piece inside long enough so it won't spin. Now, end result will be like that. Slide this up and down to adjust it. And that gives you a variation with the belt length anywhere from 119 to 124 inches. I'm waiting for a belt I had to order when no one's got it locally. And that's going to be the end result of it. I don't think it turned out too bad. It's still got basically the factory appearance to it. I think everything's going to work out well. It turned out being a lot more work. I think if I had to do it again, but Andrew suggested taking that floorboard off and just using a stirrup instead, which that would have solved all the problems. But I don't want stirrups on it. I want the floorboards. But he did have the correct answer there for that problem. It's just not what I want. But it may have been easier to just move that floorboard out 3 inches than do all this. I'm sure it would have been. Sure would have been much easier. But, okay, to anyone that's interested, there it is. How to get that blower on a C160 or similar. Takes a lot of fabrication to do it.